96.6 million ton coal production, surpassing the figures of 86.38 million tons of the corresponding month in the previous year, thus representing an increase of 11.83%. The central government, meanwhile, has notified the amended FDI norms in the space sector, clearing the deck for 100% overseas investments in making components for satellites, 74% in satellite manufacturing and operations, and 49% in satellite launch vehicles. And anything beyond the limit will need government approval. Currently valued at around $8.4 billion with a 2% share in the global market, Bharatiya space industry is expected to reach $44 billion, catering to 8% of the global demand by 2033. In a bid to strengthen the operational prowess of the Indian Navy within the strategically vital Lakshadweep Islands, a new naval base named INS Jatayu was commissioned at Minicoy today. Minicoy is the southernmost island of Lakshadweep, which straddles the vital sea lines of communications. This also means that we'll keep a close eye on the developments in neighboring Maldives, given their pact with the PLA and the CCP. And of course, Bharat's ace bowler Ravichandran Ashwin is set to play his 100th test when Bharat locks horns with England in the 5th and final test at the Himachal Pradesh Cricket Association Stadium in Dharamshala, starting Thursday, 7th March. With over 500 test wickets to his name, Ashwin is the 14th cricketer among 313 Bharatiya test players ever to play tests, 100 tests. All the best to him and all the best to Team India in the clash against England. Ladies and gentlemen, setting up debate number one on the right stand this evening, it's the comments made by the Prime Minister and the knock on the knuckles by the courts, especially with respect to what's happened in Sandeshkhali. And that begets the question, is the state now openly backing Shahjahan? And has that been proven beyond doubt?
गरीब, दलित, वंचित, आदिवासी परिवार की बहनों बेटियों के साथ टीएमसी के नेता जगह जगह अत्याचार कर रहे हैं। टीएमसी सरकार बंगाल की महिलाओं के गुनहगार को बचाने के लिए पूरी शक्ति लगा रही है।
आश्वासन दिया है हमें, हम 500 से बात किया है, आश्वासन दिया है। हमारे साथ जो भी हुआ है सारे डिटेल्स में उन्होंने सुना है, बोला है चलो मैं करूंगा, कुछ करूंगा।
State police, meaning West Bengal police, would be sufficient to hold that the state police are totally biased and every attempt is being made to delay the investigation in order to protect the accused.
कि CBI-ED जितने भी यहाँ तैनात किया जाए, जिनके हाथ में सौंपा जाए जिम्मेवारी तफ्तीश की, बंगाल की जो पुलिस बल है वो कभी नहीं मदद करेगी।
মা বোনের করে অত্যাচার পাপ করে তৃণমূল সরকার, TMC Sarkar. This was what Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, and perhaps the first time while addressing a rally in Bengal that he spoke in Bangla to such a great extent. Women in West Bengal are outraged. He talked about Akrosh. And the storm has just started in Sandeshkhali and it is spreading. It is not restricted only to Sandeshkhali or Bengal, but has reached right across the country, is what the Prime Minister said. And this is his second visit to the state within just a week. The attack, a blistering one on the Mamata Banerjee-led government. The Prime Minister said that a Bengal government is using all its might to save the oppressor of women. A direct reference to Sheikh Shajahan. Even the Calcutta High Court earlier in the day slamming the Bengal police, saying that Sheikh Shajahan is not an ordinary man and that the state underplayed the probe as it only included bailable sections in the charges. The High Court also added that the confidence of the public on the state agencies has been shattered, and today the High Court declining Bengal government's plea, asking the CID to hand over Sheikh Shajahan's custody to the CBI. The order coming after the CBI told the High Court that the West Bengal government should be pulled up for contempt of the court for not handing over the custody of Shahjahan, who had been accused by several women in Sandeshkhali of land grab and sexual harassment, and is the alleged mastermind of the attack on the ED officials. More importantly, the Supreme Court also turning down any reference to this plea and saying that a bench will be assigned only by the CJI who will hear of this matter. The matter is in the High Court. Last evening, the CID refused to hand over the custody, citing an oral mention in the Supreme Court. Anila Singh, spokesperson of the BJP, with us. Nistula Hebar, political editor, The Hindu, is with us. And also Garga Chatterjee, political analyst, backs the Trinamool Congress or questions the BJP. More importantly, is also with us. Namaste, Jai Hind to the ladies and the gentlemen with us. My first question to you, Nistula Hebar. Has it ever happened that an oral mention in the Supreme Court is a reason for not handing over people to a central agency and defying the High Court's orders?
Well, this has happened in the past, I suppose, but in this specific case, the state government had also been citing some High Court order saying we can't arrest Shahjahan Sheikh. It's only when the High Court then clarified on Monday that last Monday, that no, we have not given any such order to stop the arrest, that the arrest was effected on the midnight of Wednesday and Thursday last week, after Shahjahan Sheikh was absconding for 55 days.
Garga Chatterjee, is this not proof enough that the state is openly backing Sheikh Shajahan, and especially after the Home Minister of the state, who's also the Chief Minister, stood in the Vidhana Sabha and backed him and said he's being targeted by ED officials?
So first of all, let me disabuse viewers of these bags, the TMC, etc. Let people speak for themselves before you put your editorial or whatever narrative. So one problem in Bengal that is happening now is that this Trinamool side and the BJP side, both are full of people who have very negative reputation on women. The Sheikh Shajahan case, just take an example. So many allegations, right? And today when Prime Minister Narendra Modi came, he rightly pointed out. 2 days, 3 days ago, same Prime Minister Narendra Modi sat on their Central Parliamentary Board and Central Election Board meeting, cleared the name of a Bhojpuri porn star to stand in West Bengal who abuses Bengali women and is very popular for abusing Bengali women. And he withdrawn the candidate. BJP did not expel him. At least Trinamool, I have seen, has suspended Shahjahan. This is very unfortunate. See, what is the choice for the people of Bengal? This Pawan Singh, the Narendra Modi's Pawan Singh, or Mamata Banerjee Shahjahan. If you take also leaders, you are talking about also state backing corruption, etc. Presently, the Bengal BJP is basically 90% ex-Trinamool. So whatever you say, Trinamool is this, Trinamool is that, till about 6 months ago, these were the faces of Trinamool. For all these crimes, whatever you are alleging. You are talking about attack on law and order forces. What is Shubhendu Adhikari's history? See, this is the political crisis. There may be some people who are in politics. They may have certain obligations that they will not say Shubhendu Adhikari but say Shahjahan is a bad man. Somebody will say Shahjahan is not a bad man but will mention Shubhendu Adhikari. But these are people who have their vested interest, political interest, They might get paid, maybe they are official spokesperson, so they have no independence, they have no voice of their own, they are like parrot. We are saying...
You make a point. Let Anila Singh respond. Let Anila Singh of the BJP respond, Garga Chatterjee. Let Anila Singh of the BJP respond. You make a point, you have a point where you say that the BJP did not cover itself in glory when it nominated Pawan Singh. But to equate somebody who's done something on film, on reel, with somebody who's actually perpetrated far much more in real and getting shielded by the state for 55 days is not a fair comparison. Is not a fair comparison. But
I can give you 20
please,
examples.
I did not. Did I speak? Did I speak? Did I speak when you were speaking, Garga Chatterjee? I allowed you to speak. So you please let's not speak over each other. Let's not raise. Let's not speak over. I am not twisting your words. I am exactly saying what you said. Nobody's twisting your words for you. Nobody's twisting words. Nobody's twisting words. Your cloak and dagger game has been called out, Garga Chatterjee, for you to try and adopt a strategy where you seem to be balanced, but you are not. Let's not. Why have pretenses? The simple point, Mr. Garga Chatterjee, you don't need to raise a balloon. You don't need to tell me or sermonize. You have made your point. I have heard your point. I have every right to counter you. I have every right to counter you. Complete my point, and thereafter, don't try to heckle, corrupt the debate and unnecessarily make it a noise factory. Mr. Garga Chatterjee, I am requesting you to yield right now. I am asking you to yield right now. The question is to Ms. Anila Singh.
Okay.
Right. The point is very clear. Pawan Singh and Sheikh Shajahan have no equals. They are not equal. The BJP does not cover itself in glory by nominating a Pawan Singh, and there is a huge hue and cry made by a Trinamool Congress and of course that entire ecosystem, Anila Singh, perhaps rightly so, but they themselves are quite deaf and mute when it comes to Sheikh Shajahan for more than 55 days, and even now they continue to shield him openly. That's what's happening. What is the BJP doing about it? Question mark. And the charge against the BJP is that you yourself have so many who are from that very flock. How can you go after them openly?
My Ram to all, and I think TMC spokesperson should come clear that maximum party workers in TMC are originally from TMC or they have come from CPI and Congress party. So stop pointing fingers. Secondly, you have asked that what Bharatiya Janata Party is doing. Bharatiya Janata Party is on ground. Bharatiya Janata Party is standing with Sandeshkhali women. Bharatiya Janata Party is raising voice for the women, and this is the characteristic of Bharatiya Janata Party because our leadership, Narendra Modi ji, he truly believes in the empowerment of the woman. So whenever any crime against women, whether that state is being governed by Bharatiya Janata Party or not, he had been very, very clear with his stand, and same is with the Bharatiya Janata Party, that we cannot tolerate. It is obnoxious. It is obnoxious to see that how women, they were raped, then the men there, they were extorted. And the woman Chief Minister of West Bengal, she is advocating for Sheikh Shajahan. I mean, they are trying to show that yes, we are standing with you because we totally believe in appeasement politics. Hell with women. If they are raped, if they are sexually assaulted, if lecherous remarks are made on them, if their husbands are told that you have to shut up and we are going to pick up your wife, we are going to judge them according to their looks and age, their lands are grabbed, fertile lands are made into fisheries, she's not bothered. She challenged this thing that no, CBI inquiry should not happen in this case. They went to High Court, then they went to Supreme Court. This shows that they are not standing with the women. They are standing with this goon who had been time and again extorting that area, particular area in all forms. So Bharatiya Janata Party is very clear. We'll keep on fighting for this issue. We are standing with the women there. Our team has, Bharatiya Janata Party team is in touch with them. And if TMC says, oh, you're trying to politicize it, you're giving
Anila
color
Singh,
of
may I
politics.
ask you something?
So women respect. I don't know which color women respect has.
To espouse the virtues of trying to stand up for those who have been persecuted, it's fantastic. But please tell me, Taposh Roy was raided by the Enforcement Directorate not so many days ago. Today he has quit the Trinamool and joined the BJP. So will the raid stop? This entire events that unfolded in Sandeshkhali had also unfolded around 2019 in Sonakhali. Sonakhali is just next to Sandeshkhali. What happened to Sonakhali? Has it stopped? In this case, the Trinamool Congress is backing its people to the hilt. It's even staring down at central agencies, even putting them under house arrest. It is standing up for its party members no matter what the cost. Compare that with the BJP, whose top leaders had taken flight soon after the results were announced, and the Karyakarta on the ground was left to fend for herself for 48 hours. So, does the BJP really inspire confidence on ground? Or are you just trying to do this to gain electoral traction?
Of course not, Anand. Bharatiya Janata Party is known for its organization strength. Do you think that we have ever left West Bengal? Of course not. Everybody knows, whole of the world knows that how workers, Karyakartas from RSS and BJP, they are being targeted. They are slaughtered, attacked. Everybody knows about it. Why? The reason is they are associated with Bharatiya Janata Party or they are associated with the RSS. Any incident which happens in West Bengal, you cannot say that Bharatiya Janata Party is not standing with the people who suffer. We are there. We have never left the ground. And in today's date, like, we cannot compare the two incidents. If today Sandeshkhali has happened, so we have to talk about it. We have to raise our voice.
No,
raising
voice and doing something about it, there are two different aspects. Nishtula Hebar, please tell me, is enough being done to raise voice? The way Sheikh Shajahan is being blocked, is that upholding democracy, or is this outright autocratism on display? Or is it mocking on democracy? How many people are calling out Ms. Mamata Bandyopadhyay and her entire team for what is happening on ground? Had this been in Uttar Pradesh, what would have been the response? Had this been in Madhya Pradesh, what would have been the response?
Anand, I always say that, the states, the Hindi-speaking states, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, etc., get a very bad name with regard to political culture, whereas I found in my, 25 years of covering politics that some of the most violent political culture is in West Bengal, in Kerala, and in Andhra Pradesh. In the 2019 elections, if you remember, Andhra Pradesh and West Bengal were the two states which actually saw violence. The nature of politics in West Bengal has been significantly different from the rest of the country. It has more of a party society. First, you had a very, very dominant communist rule, and then the Trinamool Congress took over with a lot of, I would say, they've taken on a lot of that political culture as well. Civil society also seems to be divided. This gentleman, I'm just basically taking a liberty here calling him a gentleman, but Sheikh Shajahan was a strongman of the TMC in that area. And Anand, one thing also has to be noticed there, that BJP's success in West Bengal has been largely towards North Bengal. Maximum, you can stay Barrackpur, a little close to Kolkata, but Greater Kolkata region and southwards, it's a TMC bastion. So Sandeshkhali is in South Bengal, so in the North 24 Parganas. So they've not really had that much traction in that area, and therefore I think this might help the BJP get some traction there. There has been a lot of voice which has been raised, and in a very, very polarized political situation, the way we see in West Bengal, like we saw in the 1990s and early 2000s in UP between the FP and the BSP. Everybody used to say the only person who can defeat Mulayam is Mayawati, and the only person who can defeat Mayawati is Mulayam Singh. So the voter also will not give trust to you unless you come out extremely strongly and you look like you can take somebody on. So if the BJP is going after this case and manages to put away somebody like Sheikh Shajahan, they will get some traction in terms of confidence of the voter that, okay, if there is a sizable anti-Trinamool vote. I'm not saying there is not. In fact, the BJP got 39% of the CPF vote in 2019.
She has the mandate of the people. So are these women not people of Bengal? And why back a leader just because you believe that the matter's been raised by political opposition? Why back somebody who's grabbed land? Why back somebody who's accused of assaulting women? Why back somebody who's persecuted women folk in that entire area? It's a small island area in the Sundarbans. Why would Mamata Banerjee back something like this where she's committed to Mati Manush? It's a simple question. It's not about Sheikh Shajahan. It's about the women of Bengal.
I cannot be privy to what Mamata Banerjee was thinking. All I can tell you by observing the political culture at this point of time in our country, in fact, is that we have all become extremely tribal in our affiliations. So if this person is in your team, even if that person commits a crime, you tend to defend that person. So I think it's the grand polarization that has been happening in politics that is reflecting here.
No, but is there anything to show? Is there anything to show that those women of Sandeshkhali did not vote for Didi? Is there anything to show that those women of Sandeshkhali didn't trust Mamata Banerjee to stand up for them?
They need to be heard. They need to get justice. I don't think anybody disputes that really.
That's where I'm coming to. It's not.
I certainly don't.
It's become 55.
I certainly don't.
Yeah, 55 days down the line, Garga Chatterjee, you may have said that, yeah, there are political characteristics.
What is also very objectionable, Ahmed, I want to get a very small point. The start of all of this becoming a huge deal was on January 5th when ED officials went to arrest this man, and then they were stoned. I mean, these are central government employees, and you are basically getting in the way of them discharging their duty. That is a crime, actually. And there are, laws in the statute books, which can be put against that. So it all started from there.
Yeah.
The fact that you can defy the law in that way.
No,
and it has
not just defy the law.
Started from that point.
It started even before that when CBI officials went there to interrogate and question Rajiv Kumar, and they were all put under house arrest. So it started from there, where an example was made that the state can defy the center and central agencies and first castle them. Then now it's come to stone them. So that's another issue. There are two issues as far as Sandeshkhali is concerned. With the ED matter, Garga Chatterjee stoning ED officials, damaging their cars, hitting them, hurting them. How is that all right? And if it is happening under the... And then you had Ms. Mamata Bandyopadhyay stand in the assembly and back Sheikh Shajahan openly. Thereafter, who's going to dare to do anything to Sheikh Shajahan? Please tell me. Is that fair? Is that what is expected out of Didi? Is another question.
See, earlier what happened, I should clarify that I can give a long list of people in West Bengal BJP who are, under investigation for sexual crime. Shobhushaji Ghosh, he was running a sex racket. Howrah BJP leader. 24th February, he was arrested. I mean, I can give you a full list. And in other states, Kuldeep, Shengar, etc. Which is why when Prime Minister comes and say Nari Shakti, etc. Well, people who are partisan, somebody for Didi, somebody for Modi, they will believe, they will, be cheerleading for their respective camps. They have whatever for their things. But what is the choice for people of Bengal? I will tell you one good example. If you look at the 2019 Lok Sabha results, where BJP did extremely well. It was a party. In 2014, it was nowhere. In 2019, it did extremely well. Extremely well based on original BJP cadres, not people who joined from this party, that party. But after that, this BJP party has been completely taken over by Trinamool people. All of them are Trinamool people. Subhendu Adhikari was booked by CBI on the Naroda scam.
There is no disagreement with what you say, Garga Chatterjee.
He was on camera, he was booked.
Just bear with me. Just bear with me.
I know you will stop me, but
no, I'm not. Please continue. Please continue.
You bear with me, please.
No, please continue. I am just saying, let's say that we've lost, one sec, we lost you for a moment. No, we are back, you're back. I'm just saying that let's concede all the arguments that you make are true.
No, you can let me finish my argument.
Let's concede.
Finish my argument.
You please
Let me
finish. I'm
finish my
saying,
argument.
let's get to the point.
Please treat me how you treated the BJP spokesperson.
I will. I am coming back to you only,
Nisula.
Garga Chatterjee. We are wasting time. I am saying, let's
Let me
concede.
speak, na.
Let's
Let me
concede.
speak.
I
You
just
speak on
wanted.
this channel all day.
I just
Let me speak for
said.
2 minutes.
Hear me out for 10 seconds and you continue.
you are- all
Hear
the
me out
people
for
are
10
hearing
seconds
you
and you
on this channel
continue.
24
Hear me
hours.
out for.
You let
We are
me
wasting
speak for
time,
2
Garga
minutes
Chatterjee. We are
only.
wasting time.
For 2
Garga
minutes
Chatterjee, we are
only.
wasting time. You can count me down for
So
10
let me
seconds.
speak now.
You
Why
can
are you
count.
wasting time?
No, you
Let me
hear
speak.
me out. Hear me out and you
I am
continue.
saying maybe
You hear
something
me out and you
inconvenient for you,
continue.
I think.
I am telling you, you
Maybe
hear me
I am
out and you
saying
continue
something.
10
The
seconds.
common voice
Garga
of the
Chatterjee, you
people
are
of West
wasting
Bengal
time.
is
Last time,
inconvenient for you.
I am exactly saying, let's concede that the arguments
let
that you
me
make
speak.
are
Why
all
are
true.
you exactly saying?
Yeah, if you
Let
hear
me
me,
exactly
if you
say.
hear me, then you would understand what you,
let people
I
hear
said.
me.
Let's
I am the
concede.
person
Let's concede what
you
you're saying.
invited,
But I'm
na?
asking you,
They
does
are
that
hearing
justify
you all the
Mamata
time.
Banerjee's actions? That's all I'm asking
They
you.
hear you yesterday,
All your
they hear
arguments
you
against the
tomorrow.
BJP and what it's become,
Every day they are
let's
hearing
concede
you.
all of them are true. Does that justify Mamata
अरे
Banerjee's
सुनता हो तो
actions?
बोलते रहो ना. Let me
Arey,
tell you.
answer the question I'm
all
asking
of
you.
these kind of people, all of these kind of people, from where, from which planet will you get politicians? Subhendu Adhikari, BJP, Bobby Hakim, Trinamool. Both are taking money in camera in Naroda scam. Okay? Now because Subhendu Adhikari is involved, Bobby Hakim of Trinamool also goes scot-free. Because if he has to catch one, he has to catch another one. Modi will not come say anything. He will use teleprompter to say Bangla. You take away teleprompter, he will not say one word of Bangla. If you give me teleprompter, I will say Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, everything. What is all this?
Does that justify Mamata Banerjee backing Sheikh Shajahan? That's the question. You have not answered
In
that.
West Bengal, every political party has always
Does
backed
that justify
all
Chief
kinds
Minister of the state
anti-socials and
backing Sheikh
criminals?
Shajahan? Does that
Arey,
justify
Mamata Banerjee
Chief
backed
Minister of the
Subhendu
state
Adhikari
backing
also.
Sheikh Shajahan?
He
You will
was a
not answer
criminal
that
who was
question.
attacking police forces
If
in
you
Mumbai
believe
crowd.
what the BJP is, I am asking you a simple question.
Has-
Does that justify Mamata
of course.
Banerjee backing
Arey,
Sheikh
here-
Shahjahan? You will not answer that question. You will not answer that
ruling
question.
political party
Okay, now
in
keep
West
going
Bengal
roundabout.
and
You can
Nisula
take your
Hepar
jalebi
said
tour and
as-
we'll meet you at the next
Arey,
debate.
bolte
I have
rahe
run
na,
out of
to
time.
bolte rahe na.
Are you
He will not let
keep
me
going
speak.
on
Is
your
there
own,
some
tooting
problem?
your own horn, sir, and you wasted so
It's
much
some
of time.
other
But thank you
problem.
very much. I have to
Arey,
wind
here
up.
I
I
am
have to
to
wind
speak.
up.
I
I have to
will
wind
toot
up.
my own horn.
You're tooting your wrong horn. No, that's what's happening. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what happened. In this entire rabble-rousing, the simple question that needs to be answered has not been answered. Does this behove of the Chief Minister of a state to do what is being done right now? We leave you to decide on that. Quickly moving on. After the Supreme Court, now the Madras High Court has rebuked M.K. Stalin's son and Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Stalin's son, Udaynidhi Stalin, over his eradicate Sanatan Dharm remark. The High Court has said equating Sanatan Dharm to HIV, malaria and dengue is against constitutional principles and amounts to spreading misinformation. The court has also added that Udaynidhi and other DMK leaders acted against constitutional principles. The court also called out the state minister and said constitutional post holders cannot attend events calling for eradication of Sanatan. But the larger question is, why is the DMK leadership towing this anti-Sanatan line? Do they believe Sanatan and Hindu bashing will actually get them votes? We talked about this thought continuum starting from the time of E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar. Anila Singh of the BJP continues with us, P. Pulla Rao, political analyst with us, and Ramaswamy Mayappan, lawyer, also with us. Namaste, Jai Hind to everybody. Thank you very, very much. I'm going to ask you, Mr. Pulla Rao, are there people in Bharat, especially in Tamil Nadu, who will actually give votes if Sanatan Dharma, Hindu way of life, Hindutva is bashed, like the DMK leaders are bashing right now?
Well, let me tell you, I have heard what the learned judge said today, Anita Somantri or other judges in the Supreme Court. The whole problem is, in our society, in our country, there are no borders, there are no boundaries, there is no code of conduct, there is no law. There is a law if you make caste-wise remarks. Scheduled Caste, Scheduled Tribe Act comes into force. There is no law at all. Whose fault is it? I may tell you that if there was a law, there were boundaries, perhaps this kind of talk, which offends others, may not come about. This government had 10 years. They could have framed a law, but of course they're hesitant to frame
Really,
such
Mr.
a
Pulla
law.
Rao, is that what you are saying, that there is no law? But you
No,
say that you say something similar to about Islam.
give me a minute.
You say something similar about Christianity. You say something similar about any other religion, and then you're castigated by the same very Supreme Court and the same very High Courts under various laws of hate speech, etc. But when it comes to talking negatively about Sanatan Dharma and Hindutva, there is no law.
No, there is no law because there's nobody to take it up. Let me finish a couple of sentences. I am not in agreement with any hate speech by anybody. It is immature. And therefore, there should be a law. There should be boundaries. In such a large society as ours, what you're saying is, it affects others, they react. Why not here? Well, that's the way the system was. There are reactions. All this unpleasantness would be gone if there was a law. Perhaps anyone, any constitutional authority, talking loosely, will he lose his office? Doesn't lose his office. That's what the Justice Anita Suman said. No, I can't go there. I can only chastise you. I can only say you're wrong. But I can't say, now that you've violated constitutional principles, you lose your job because you swore by the Constitution. So definitely you think about it. There are a lot of unpleasantness. People taking liberties either way, both ways, many ways. We do require some boundaries. And I know why government is hesitant to impose these boundaries or talk about it, because they'll say, no, freedom of the speech, government is going to take away rights. But we already have similar laws as far as caste is concerned. Do we make any hate speech on certain castes, you're arrested, no bail. So perhaps this debate, you should think about this. That I'm not saying because there are no boundaries, you talk as you like. Because there are no boundaries, some people talk as they like.
But there are laws, Ramaswamy Mayappan, correct me if I'm wrong, there are laws on hate speech and taking on and talking negatively about any faith, any way of life that is practiced in Bharat comes under hate speech. If you are hurting sentiments of people, common public, and that could create social strife, then it comes under hate speech. Whoever makes that hate speech should be bound by the law, whether they are in a constitutional position or not. What constitutional position is Andimuthu Raja in?
True. Anand, you are absolutely right. So there are two positions that we'll have to look at. One, the law that's presently in place, the Indian Penal Code provides for the same hate speech and to act against hate speech instances. Similarly, the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita that is in place, that's to be notified and come into effect in July, both have the same provisions. One. Two, has action not been taken in the past against people who made such speeches? Action has been taken. In fact, let us look at the statements made and the judgment of the Honorable Court today. The Honorable Court categorically held whatever has been stated is wrong, erroneous, unconstitutional, does not suit the position that he comes from. And should action be taken? Yes, action should be taken. Who's the agency that says action should be taken? Action should be taken by the state law enforcement agency. But sadly, because he's the minister, his father is the chief minister, the state law enforcement agency, the police here, is refusing to file an FIR, refusing to inquire into the matter. And the Supreme Court categorically questioned the same yesterday. And now look at this, why they are doing this? Two things. One, divisiveness. In India, we've heard of, in our history lessons, the Britishers were divisive. They looked at dividing India on religious lines, communal caste lines, and other lines. Although we look at DMK today, DMK talks of divisiveness. Let it be caste, community, economics, region, language, whatever it is, only divisiveness works for them. Whatever British have left over, I have a feeling that the DMK has taken up and said, let us divide India, let us divide Tamil Nadu, let us divide people into different categories. This is what will keep us in power forever. But whereas, look at the political position that Narendra Modi goes to campaign with across the country. He organized the Kasi Tamil Sangamam. He's talking about unifying feelings in UP, methods of worship in Tamil Nadu. These things come together.
But
he talks about Tamils
then you're
traveling across
proving the
country.
theory that in Tamil Nadu, those who speak the divisive language have the mandate. Look at who's got the mandate in Tamil Nadu. Where is the BJP in Tamil Nadu and where is the DMK in Tamil Nadu? Anila Singh ji, the other question, ma'am, is the BJP, the largest party in the whole wide world, has perhaps the most prolific and proficient of lawyers also. How many of them have taken the DMK leaders to court? How many of them have filed an urgent plea? How many of them have turned around and taken umbrage to the comments that have been made?
My Ram to all once again. And Anand, it is not a fight amongst two political parties. It was an insult for Sanatanis. So let us not politicize it. The thing is, who has given this minister from DMK, son of the chief minister, to insult Sanatanis? Calling them virus, HIV, dengue, this is what he mentioned. And who was singing behind in chorus? Mr. Kharge's son. So the thing is, if Supreme Court is not there, or I can say if judicial system is not there in our country, then what would have happened? I mean, such people, time and again, they keep on insulting Sanatanis. Lately, we have seen A. Raja, again a leader from DMK. What he said about Bhagwan Ram. Arey Ram kuch nahi hote hain, thu chichi, idiots. He called Sanatanis idiots. So this is the characteristic of DMK party, which is an allied partner of India Alliance.
Anila Singh ji, with due respect, ma'am. The moment Nupur Sharma made a comment and 2 weeks later this television debate was raised by certain international agencies and entities, there was Sartan Se Juda call on the streets and there was a huge sermonization that came from the courts because there were people who moved court immediately and wanted action and the courts to intervene. My question to you, ma'am, is that those who stand here and abuse Sanatan Dharma, because the society is mature, because the society is responsible, because the society is sensible, is that supposed to be a sign of weakness that people can get away with what they can say and the courts can say, oh, there is no craziness on the streets, there is no calls for Sartan Se Juda, so let's not intervene and let's just keep quiet. Is that the message that collectively society, polity and the courts, judiciary as a whole are sending out? That go ahead and bash Hindus, go ahead and bash those who are mature, go ahead and bash those who are sensible, go ahead and bash those who are peaceful and tolerant.
See, I cannot comment on judicial system of our country, but I know one thing. Being a Sanatani, I know this thing, that we are very tolerant. That is why, being a tolerant, they think that it is our weakness. No, we are not weak. History tells that. Do not challenge us. We know how to answer back. But the thing is, we are living in a democratic system. So definitely, I am proud of Supreme Court. Supreme Court has reprimanded DMK.
But has anybody gone to the Supreme Court asking them to take cognizance since they will not do it suo motu? Has anybody gone to the Madras High Court and asked them to come down heavily?
Again, I'm going to say this thing, I cannot comment on the judicial system of this country. But the reality is, being a BJP, not only as a BJP worker, but as a Sanatani, such thing is not going to be tolerated, at least in this date.
Or is the BJP all right for it to become a debate on television shows and it become a matter of public ire because it helps them politically? Let the likes of Mr. Raja and so many others go ahead and say what they want to say because it helps our political cause.
Anandji, did Bharatiya Janata Party tell you to pick up this debate tonight? No. No political party, at least I know about Bharatiya Janata Party, we do not dictate terms. It is the sweet will of media channels if they want to debate about it or not. But now at least I know that Sanatanis are very well awakened and nobody can, just simply pass by giving such comments. So such hue and cry was made when this minister of DMK, son of Chief Minister Stalin, when he made dirty comments on Sanatan. And yesterday also I was on debate about what A. Raja said again about Bhagwan Shri Ram. So debate should happen because if we talk about the national media through that channel, that platform, crores of people, they come to know that what type of mindset such political parties have.
No, but these are being said and these utterances are being made in public rallies. These utterances are being made in public rallies in front of people who the DMK and these people believe they'll come back and give them votes. So is that what the constituency is? Is there a constituency that actually likes hearing such kind of vitriol and such kind of words, and they will go ahead and vote for this? Pulla Rao ji wanted to say something and then Ramaswamy Mahipan. Yes.
No, the main thing is what your question you asked. Why did no BJP lawyer take it up? That question I can answer. Because they don't want to. They could very well have taken it up. They got a galaxy of lawyers because they also find maybe what I have said, maybe, that there is no law which applies to it. They feel maybe, why should I get into it? Nobody did it. Suo motu, some other person filed a complaint and it went on. That's the first thing I have said. And the other thing is there is a constituency for this kind of speech. And there is also a counter constituency for saying, you're against the speech. And I think it's very wrong, being very familiar with Tamil Nadu. There are people who have been doing this, as you very well know, for the last 100 years or 95 years. From 1925, they've been doing this.
Yes.
And there's, when I say this, some other people may not understand it. You, I know, would understand it. They've been saying it. It's a background noise, but it is also effective. Those who are saying it want to convey a message to somebody. It's a signal. when I'm with you. But those who are offended, they do nothing. So obviously, is there a constituency for that? That also what you have answered yourself. There is, yes. Why are they so helpless if they are angered? So obviously they are not angry. And I go back again, Anand. There is no law as such. There are vague laws. I don't dispute what Mr. Mayappan said. But there are vague laws. Otherwise, people who don't want to cope. The public fury which you have cited, that itself captures newspaper headlines, and then the court likes to act on such things. This kind of noise, they like to act. But there is no law. I can definitely ask anyone to show me a law. This comes under. And I believe we need a
so
law
you're
for
saying that anybody can make any comment and get away with it as long as there is no public fury?
And
Unless
also,
there is public fury, unless there is public fury, then that is by default it is trying to say that, okay, what is grabbing the headlines, let's react to that. What is not grabbing the headlines, let's not react to that. Forget the balance and equation of law. Ramaswamy Mayappan, is that how the courts of our country will look? That one person gets jailed, another person gets sermonized, ostracized and demonized, and a third person just gets a small rebuke and remand and says, please don't do it again.
And first, I'd like to thank the media, the fourth pillar of our democracy, for taking this message across to the public. The public need awareness, the public need to know what's happening, why these people are making these comments, how they are making it, and why they are getting away with it. So first, thanks to the media, the fourth pillar, for that reason, one. Two, now when talking about judiciary is being very conversant with the issue. If you look at the Supreme Court yesterday, the Supreme Court strongly condemned this. Today, the Madras High Court once again condemned. All that the Madras High Court is saying is that there is a procedure to be adopted. Let the Speaker take his call, let the legislature take its call, let the police register an FIR. The sad part about it is here the law machinery and the legislature is with the control of the DMK. Therefore, that action is slow. And here, like you rightly said, lawyers will have to act up and act fast. It's not that there is lack of law. The Indian Penal Code is strong enough to act on this. The National Honors Act is strong enough to act on this. Statements like the ones that A. Raja made that India is not a nation could easily be brought under that. And he could have been, at least he could have been charged and let an inquiry be taken up. But the concern is this. Given that the Sanatanis have been very tolerant for years, today these politicians think they can get away with it. But I think times are changing, that there are more petitions that are being filed. I think about 10 years back, hardly one case or one complaint would have been registered. But today times have changed, and against Udayanidhi, in Madras, one petition was filed. Close to the Supreme Court, there are 3 petitions, and people have made efforts to file FIR. But I think this needs to grow. It doesn't have to turn into fury. I think tolerance needs to reduce, because where someone's right starts, my right ends. That is not just for common citizens, but also for politicians. Politicians cannot take their rights for granted. The privilege that they enjoy within the legislature is not what's available to them outside the house. They have to be more sensible, they have to be more responsible, and they have to be concerned with what the people want. And I think the people will also start teaching their lesson. Thanks to the media like you, that you're bringing it to the fore. I think the ballot boxes will show that which button will be pressed when it comes to election.
Pula Raoji wanted to say something, and then Anil Singh.
One thing. Yesterday's Supreme Court judgment was very good. They said an MP, MLA has full freedom to vote as he likes, talk as he likes, but he can't take money for it. That's an independent thing. Taking money is bribery. That kind of code, that kind of code of conduct, that kind of law is absent. We are hearing it every day. And I believe in this harmony business applies to all religions, or also unnecessary society is getting ruptured. And that there has been failure on the part of the government, I think, that they have not woken up to these tensions. And then they say he's creating trouble, he's doing this. Why? I mean, that's the freedom of expression, because though it sounds very careless, though it sounds, I could be said, I don't care. It's not that. There are no limits. There are no limits. People will exploit. People will do things. If there was no limit that children should not be exploited, they will be exploited. Sadly, that's human nature. There is a lapse on the part of the government. There's a lapse on the part of the judiciary. The same judiciary which said you can't take money, you can say anything you want, do anything you want. You can support any legislation. That's what the Supreme Court said. Why haven't they said it in this case? That's the question you should consider.
Anila Singh?
Anand, I really fail to understand that why Mr. Rao had said time and again that there is no law against what Mr. He has said, whatever he said, how he insulted the Sanatanis. What about the Constitution? What about the rights from Article 25 to 28, which says that you have freedom to practice your religion? So whatever he said, don't you think it is against the spirit of Constitution, the right which Constitution has given to the people of India?
Yeah, but
to
can the
practice that religion.
Madras
So
High Court
don't be-
legally
don't be
take action
expected-
against somebody who's in a constitutional position or an elected position in a berth of ministry when he makes a speech like this? Is there a law? That's what Mr. Pullarao is asking.
Just one small thing.
Secondly,
The judge said there is no law.
secondly, freedom also has to go hand in hand with fear. Fear of
No,
the law.
Anand, I'm with you here. Anand,
Fear
just
of
stepping in here.
reprimand. Fear of being put behind bars if you breach the freedom. Is it there? Especially with respect to the Hindu way of life in Hindustan. That's the bigger question. Ram Sobhi.
Anand, the nature of the difference. Anand, a question that was asked before this court was a co-warrantor. Is he qualified to be there? All that the court could have said today is that he's not disqualified yet because no action has been taken. What appropriate action, like you said, is one lawyer like me should have approached the court asking for directions through the criminal original petition to register an FIR and take action against Udayanidhi Stalin, which the police is refraining to do for almost about a year now. So if that kind of an action, then the court could have directed the police to say that you will have to inquire into the matter, you will have to register an FIR, and appropriate action needs to be taken. I think the legislative court, the recourse that have been taken here through the judicial process is what is weak. And I think there more lawyers, more citizens who are valid will have to step in and ask questions.
In Bengal, Pullarao-ji, Mamata Banerjee will shield Sheikh Shajahan, not hand him over to the CBI, hold him away and resist his arrest for 55 days after his goons and his people attack the ED, and he's alleged to be the mastermind of that attack. In Tamil Nadu, the Tamil Nadu police will not file FIRs. Even after court's directions in Bengal, FIR is filed with bailable options. The court makes an observation, nothing beyond that. In Tamil Nadu, anybody who says anything against the government is put behind bars, but anybody who says anything against Sanatan Dharma gets a free pass, gets a free run. So this is democracy. These are rulers, these are governors, these are people, elected representatives who are going to uphold democracy. Whereas the center which brings up the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita to reform the laws of our country are forming a police state, are laying the grounds for a police state.
See, because there was no law, the court didn't do anything. What Mr. Mayappan just said is some lawyer should go file it in the court. Why should they do that?
Because the cops have not filed an FIR, sir.
Yes.
The cops have not registered a complaint. Law has to be first enforced before it is judged or ruled in the courts.
Correct. That's why I said they say there is no law. It's vague. This can't be quantified. What abuse I said can't be quantified. You need quantification for the law to come into force. You need definite.
Sir, there has to be an FIR under sections that determine hate speech that has hurt the sentiments of society and could have been laying the grounds for causing public strife. And these laws are already present on which an FIR could have been registered. That FIR has not yet been registered. So there is a law that can be interpreted, but it has not been interpreted by those who are supposed to enforce the law, Mr. Pullarao. So who's to be blamed here?
It should be unambiguous.
So under the DMK's regime, not just activists, not just politicians. Sorry, sir, to intervene. Under the DMK's regime, not just politicians, not just actors have been registered with cases. Even journalists, editors of newspapers, editors of media agencies have been registered with 153 and 295A, saying that they are passing religious hatred and communal hatred.
The simple point is those who claim to be holding up the pillars of democracy and saying we are the only ones who are going to keep democracy alive today are behaving in the perhaps the most autocratic manner that has been on display in the recent past. That's the big thing, and nobody is making a hue and cry about it. Those upholders of civil rights are all mute of what is happening in Bengal, what is happening in Tamil Nadu. Thank you very much. I have to wind up on that note. Points to ponder, ladies and gentlemen, as we take a very short break. When we come back, the latest on the Rameshwaram Cafe blast. Stay with us.
Guruji. He will be in West Bengal today. He will be inaugurating a lot of projects. Can you tell us more about it?
Well, the Prime Minister, in fact, will be giving to the state of Bengal development projects to the tune of 14,000 to 15,000 crores. That also includes the first under-river metro, which is going to be inaugurated in a bit from now. And if sources are to be believed, then Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also board that first metro and take a ride on that metro like he does on multiple occasions. He actually, wants to feel like the common man and wants to experience what the common man really experiences. So that's the difference between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and several other VIPs and VVIPs that we've seen in the past. Having said that, today is a very, very special occasion as far as Bengal is concerned. The women folk are going to be the special guests invited to the Prime Minister's rally, which is taking place at Barasat, which is North 24 Parganas. Incidentally, it's the same district, Anjali, as West Sandeshkhali really falls in. So obviously, in the run-up to the Women's Day, which is on the 8th of March, the Prime Minister today is addressing a huge gathering here in Barasat, and of course, women from across the country will be connected through online process. Women from mandals across the country will be connected online. That's the arrangement that the BJP Mahila Morcha has made as part of their push as far as the women agenda is really concerned. So the Prime Minister is expected to hit out at the TMC government failing to secure and provide safety to the women, and also he is going to highlight essentially as to what steps have been taken by his government to empower women, especially the development projects that have been aimed at women. Various initiatives have been taken, so women have been sent to the space, women have been sent to the armed forces, women have been given all kind of empowerment by giving them benefits of central government schemes, allowing them Mudra Yojana, allowing them the Lakpati Didi being the latest armor which is come out of the Modi quiver, and also a lot of other things that have really happened. So obviously the Prime Minister is going to make a lot of mention of that as well, and say that this is the government which has been then power for the last 10 years and has done women empowerment in its true sense and not lip service. And obviously he's going to hit out at Mamata Banerjee, because remember in 2021 the one vote bank which actually stood between Modi's BJP and of course Mamata Banerjee were the women, and can the women really strongly rally behind Modi? That is possibly going to be the biggest difference that is going to really be made to the 2024 Lok Sabha elections as far as Bengal is really concerned, because Bengal is said to be a land of the women, where the women are really worshipped like goddesses and of course empowered a lot as well. But what we've seen pan out in Sandeshkhali, like Lokri Chatterjee was mentioning, has been an incident of shame, and nobody would ever want to have a repeat of such an incident. So we can expect the Prime Minister to make a very, very fiery speech. Remember, this is his third rally in less than a week's time. He again comes back to Bengal on the 9th. So probably the Prime Minister using his star power as far as Bengal is concerned, because the BJP completely relying on his star power to get through those 42 seats.
In a major development, the Calcutta High Court ordered the transfer of the probe into an attack on Enforcement Directorate officials in Sandeshkhali on January 5th from the West Bengal Police to the CBI. The High Court made scathing remarks on the state police, saying that the Bengal police failed to take any action on time. The West Bengal government has moved the Supreme Court challenging the Calcutta High Court's order. The state government is seeking to quash High Court's order and also allow state police to investigate this particular incident. Now, sources have informed CNN News 18 that CID has refused to hand over the custody and documents of Shahjahan Sheikh to the CBI. CID told CBI that the matter is pending before the Supreme Court and thereby they will not hand over the documents as of now. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Modi is in Bengal today and will be addressing a rally in North 24 Pargana district. In fact, he will also launch a slew of projects in the state, and West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee in all likelihood will be skipping this event of Prime Minister and will instead make an important announcement for women.
Once again, our publicity master Prime Minister is coming to our state of West Bengal. He will be talking about women empowerment, Nari Shakti. But he will never say why amongst 195 declared BJP candidates, they are having only 14% female. He will not utter a single word regarding Manipur, where the women are being raped and they are forced to do parade nakedly. He won't utter a single word regarding Madhya Pradesh, regarding Uttar Pradesh, where several rape cases are taking place every day. He will be talking about corruption sitting by the side of Shubhendu Adhikari, who has been seen taking money in front of camera, whose name is very much there in the CBI. He will be talking about corruption, but he won't say that the biggest financial scam of nowadays is Modi Adani scam, whose amount is nearly $120 billion.
जी, लोकसभा मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट इज विद मी. प्रधानमंत्री आज आ रहे हैं, क्या मैसेज लेके आएंगे बंगाल की महिलाओं के लिए?
देखिए, आज देश में जैसा महिला लोगों के लिए जैसा विकास चल रहा है पूरा देश में, प्रधानमंत्री जी खुद अपना हाथों से महिला को आगे बढ़ाया है. तो पश्चिम बंगाल एकदम रिवर्स चल रहा है. तो पश्चिम बंगाल में जो महिला के ऊपर जो चल रहा है, महिला जो सुरक्षित नहीं है, उनको विचार देने के लिए आ रहे हैं. और हम लोग चाहते हैं कि ये विकास में पश्चिम बंगाल का महिला भी शामिल हो जाए.
ममता बनर्जी भी कुछ अनाउंसमेंट करने वाली महिलाओं के लिए, आपको लगता है आफ्टर थॉट है उनका?
देखिए, संदेशखाली का जो इंसिडेंट हुआ है, ये पूरा सुनामी हो गया, पूरा पश्चिम बंगाल बोलिए पूरा देश में हो गया है। संदेशखाली का महिला लोग चाहते हैं कि लक्ष्मी भांडार नहीं चाहते हैं, लक्ष्मी का सम्मान चाहते हैं। ममता बनर्जी 500 रुपये में पश्चिम बंगाल में नारी का सम्मान बेच रहे हैं।
ममता बनर्जी, अभिषेक बनर्जी कहते हैं कि वो जो जैसे लॉ है वो लॉ इज टेकिंग इट्स ओन कोर्स, बट सीबीआई ने जब कस्टडी मांगी है शेख शाहजहां की तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट सुप्रीम कोर्ट चली गई।
एक्चुअली शेख शाहजहां को ममता बनर्जी अपने घर में रख दिया है क्योंकि उसको प्रोटेक्शन पूरा दे रहे हैं, क्योंकि उसको 30% वोट का राजनीति चाहिए, उसको महिला को सम्मान नहीं चाहिए, इसलिए वो चाहते नहीं है कि सीबीआई के हाथ में शेख शाहजहां को उठा दे। लेकिन पूरा पश्चिम बंगाल का महिला लोग, पूरा देश का महिला लोग चाहते हैं जैसा शेख शाहजहां ने हिंदू महिला को खोज के जैसा हिंदू महिला का सम्मान किया है, उसको गैंगरेप भी हुआ है, हिंदू महिला लोग सब लोग चाहते हैं कि शेख शाहजहां को फांसी का सजा मिले और सीबीआई हो।
एक आखिरी सवाल है, क्योंकि इलेक्शन आने वाले कुछ ही हफ्तों में, आपको क्या लगता है कि इस बार महिलाएं जो है बंगाल में परिवर्तन करेंगी, दीदी को छोड़ के मोदी जी का साथ देंगी?
बहुत बड़ा परिवर्तन अभी भी दिखा रहे हैं, सब लोग देख ही रहे हैं, और आप देखेंगे कि लोकसभा में सब लोग आशीर्वाद, महिला लोगों का आशीर्वाद मोदी जी के ऊपर रहेगा।
Thank you so much for talking to us. Payal Mehta for CNN News 18.
And CNN News 18's editor is Kamalika Sengupta is joining us on this story. Kamalika, very good morning to you. So all eyes are on the Prime Minister who will be addressing a rally in West Bengal. What all is the Prime Minister's plan for today?
Definitely, it's a very, very significant rally today here. Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
All right, we'll try to re-establish that connection with Kamalika. But Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to address a rally in West Bengal's North 24 Pargana district. And in fact, he's also slated to launch a slew of projects in West Bengal today, which also includes underwater rail project. Now, this comes amid the Sandeshkhali controversy that has been going on in West Bengal, and the TMC government has been facing the heat of the people on that particular case. And now CNN News 18's Payal Mehta is also joining us on this story. Payal, so what is Prime Minister's plan for today? He will be in West Bengal.
An ID blast at the popular eatery in Bengaluru, the Rameshwaram Cafe, on the 1st of March left 9 people injured. The Karnataka police suspect that a bag placed at the cafe with a possible improvised explosive device or IED could have exploded. 5 days after the blast, the manhunt is still on to nab the suspect in the case. The NIA has taken over the case and is probing all angles. The agency on Wednesday has announced a cash reward of 10 lakh rupees for any information on the suspect in the cafe blast case. The NIA is probing whether the suspect is also part of an ISIS-inspired module. Officials indicated that the CCTV screen grab of the prime suspect seen in multiple security camera clips could be shown to the jailed ISIS module members for any possible leads about his identity. Let us also take you through the clinching CCTV footage in this case that's been accessed here at CNN News 18. A new CCTV video on the 1st of March at Rameshwaram Cafe blast has emerged, showing the suspect entering the popular Bengaluru eatery. As per the CCTV footage, the suspect is seen entering the cafe at 11:34 a.m. There you go, with the cap down, face covered, and with something in his hand. And he's entering from the CMRT, from a BMTC bus at the CMRIT college bus stop in Kundalahalli. After entering the cafe, the suspect actually pays cash and was seen holding a plate of rava idli. That's the next footage. He was holding a plate of rava idli at 11:43 a.m. The suspect leaves the plate of rava idli without even eating and walks out of the cafe. Spotted outside the restaurant, walking hurriedly and checking the time on his watch. The blast then takes place nearly an hour later at 12:55 p.m. and after the suspect had left the cafe. That's the visuals of the blast. Now, it's been 5 days since the blast took place, but there has been no headway yet. The clues look very, very elusive. First up, no information on the identity of the accused. 2, whereabouts of the accused still unknown. 3, route without the CCTV coverage largely has been used. So clearly there has been a whole huge amount of recce and research that's been done to avoid areas with CCTV cameras and also to pick out the blind spots, except for when the person is at the cafe and the head is always down, face is not very clear. Several similarities have emerged between the Bengaluru cafe blast with that of the Bengaluru and also Shivamogga blasts of 2022. Was there a bigger plot at play? Is it the same module? Are they all linked? Let's decode why we asked that. Similarity number 1, explosive used in the improvisative IED. Similarity 2 is the components of the bomb like wires, batteries, the way it's been put together, etc. Timer used in the attacks are also of similar kind. And the 4th similarity, use of local transport by the accused. So the modus operandi is also very, very similar. And these are the reasons why we ask questions on whether or not was there a larger plot and is it way beyond just a rivalry or jealousy as was put by some ministers of the Karnataka government. With that, we call it a wrap on this edition of The Right Stand. Thank you for watching Brass Tacks with Saga right now.
Dream Sports presents News 18 Rising Bharat Summit in partnership with Hindustan Times. Coming soon.
Good evening, this is Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. Prime Minister Modi was in Barasat today in Bengal, which is less than 100 kilometers from Sandeshkhali. That is where the most horrific crimes have come to light against TMC strongman Shahjahan Sheikh. He has been incognito for more than 50 days. He was finally arrested last week. But despite the huge pressure, the national media's gaze on him, and the Calcutta High Court yesterday ordering that Shahjahan Sheikh should be handed over to the CBI, the Bengal